Thank you for staying with Republic, and it's another Republic Newsbreak that has been confirmed. We were the first ones to tell you all about how Masood Khan's appointment has been paused by the United States based on terror links that he may have. Now, Pakistan is on the back foot. Pakistan has confirmed this news on Masood Khan, Pakistan ambassador to the United States, whose appointment has been paused by the United States. The request for agreement for Masood Khan that had been sent to the State Department in the second week of November, and this was put forth by a Pakistan diplomat, and the US Department having paused the process of the appointment of Pakistan's ambassador designate to Washington, Masood Khan, and the delay that has also indicated that this could be over him having terror links. Abhishek Kapoor, senior executive editor, now joining us on the broadcast. Abhishek, what more are we picking up? What has Pakistan said on this? Huge embarrassment for the nation. And how is the United States now going further with this?
Well, Suresha, so Pakistan is trying to put up a brave face on this issue of appointment of Masood Khan, a Pakistani diplomat of 1980 batch, as ambassador of Pakistan to Washington, D.C. His appointment, though made by Pakistan, has not as yet been accepted by the State Department and the government of the United States. They have put the process on hold. That is the information we came to know from the letter written by Republican Congressman Scott Perry. And that was the Newsbreak, which brought this in public domain a few days back. What is important is that the reason why it has been stopped or acceptance of his credentials has been stopped is because he is seen as a terror sympathizer. He is someone who has spoken in favor of Burhan Wani. He has spoken in favor of proscribed terror organizations like Hizbul Mujahideen. He's someone who has spoken in favor of convicted terrorists of the United States like Afia Siddiqui, who is accused of attacking American soldiers in Afghanistan, in Kabul. So I think this is not going to end on a good note for Pakistan by all accounts. And we are keeping tabs on this story as it develops in terms of the process that the Americans are following for vetting Masood Khan and his antecedents before deciding on whether to accept him as Pakistan's ambassador to the United States. He having been designated by the Imran Khan government. So Imran Khan there facing yet another embarrassment.
Abhishek, I'm sorry I'm having to interrupt you here, but Sushant Sareen is also with us on the phone line. Sushant Sareen, your take on this latest development and how this is going to impact the ties between Pakistan and the United States, and and of course the fact that it is such a huge embarrassment for Pakistan.
Look, I think, the relations between the United States and Pakistan are nothing to write home about. There are serious tensions, and of course, one of the strongest indicators of that is that President Biden has not even bothered to pick up the phone and talk to Imran Khan in over a year that he has been president. So I think that tells you a lot about the state of relationship, number one. Number two, I think there are a lot of suspicions about Pakistan. There is a lot of anger with Pakistan. And the Americans are by and large tightening the screws. They're not breaking off relations. I don't think that's on the table. But I don't think there is any love lost between the two countries. The Pakistanis are trying to reset relations. And if I think there is a reluctance on the American side to accept the agreement of Masood Khan, who is a noted terrorist sympathizer, an apologist for terrorists, has supported them all along his career, both as a diplomat and then later as the so-called president of the puppet, regime in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. So his terrorist credentials are very clear. Now, if the Americans have expressed some reluctance over this man, I think, and the Pakistanis, according to your reports, have put a pause on his appointment, then I think the Pakistanis are backing down and they're trying to reach out to the Americans. They're not trying to rile the Americans on this particular issue because there are some indications that they are trying for some kind of a reset with the U.S. So perhaps it's in that thing that the Pakistanis will try and appease the Americans. They'll try and, not make a big song and dance about it. It will rankle in Pakistan, certainly. But I don't think they would want to make an issue of this at this stage when they need American support, they need American assistance in international financial institutions. They are looking to try and balance relations with the Chinese by improving their relations with the Americans. So I think it's a combination of factors, and Masood Khan is not somebody on which Pakistan is going to risk its entire relationship with the United States.
One thing that Sushant said, it makes a lot of sense that this entire statement from Pakistan that the Indian media, the Indian government has no point of view regarding Masood Khan's ambassadorship to the United States or proposed ambassadorship to the United States. It's only the Indian media that is saying that he's a terrorist sympathizer, which he is. So I don't know what's the fuss about. Largely the Pakistani media is largely pliant. It's largely a media that has been browbeaten by the ISI. Not true for the Indian media. The Indian media is independent and let them draw their own conclusions.
But Gaurav,
regarding
Gaurav, Indian media has become a convenient whipping boy. Number one, I don't see why Indian media needs to bat for Pakistan. Number two, Indian media did not come up with this story. The Pakistanis had sent the Agrima way back in November. If the Americans were sitting on it, I don't think the Indian media even reported that Masood Khan, the terrorist sympathizer, is being appointed as ambassador. It is only after an American congressman raises this issue that, the Indian media picked it up. Now, this is a news story. And unless, the Pakistani media and the Pakistani authorities think that the Indian media is as compliant and as supplicant to the authorities in Pakistan, and that Indian media will not report this story because this is a story worth reporting, then they have another thought coming their way. But the Indian media simply responded to a story which was there, analyzed the story and presented it on the basis of facts. So, you can make it a whipping boy, but it doesn't really solve the state of relations between the Pakistanis and the Americans.
All right, General.